Cheerios. Be happy, be healthy.
George, Julia, and Brad, plus Bernie Mac's tragedy, next ET.
Surrender or die. The U.S. message today to Arabs among the Taliban, punctuated with bombs raining on their last strongholds. Hunting Osama bin Laden, cave by cave. The secrets this bin Laden associate may be holding as he is held in a U.S. prison. And a hard news eye on America. The economy needs a jump start, and it may get one at the gas station.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. The war against Afghanistan's ruling Taliban appears to have entered a new, potentially decisive phase. Arab-led Taliban holdouts facing annihilation in the northern city of Kunduz are now said to be fighting among themselves. And those trapped in the Taliban's southern stronghold of Kandahar apparently hope to talk their way out. But U.S. officials say, forget it. They're anxious to be done with the Taliban and get on with trying to find Osama bin Laden. CBS has battlefield reports tonight from correspondents across the war zone. But we begin at the Pentagon with an overview from David Martin.
With the destruction caused by American airstrikes all around them, the Taliban is still holding out at Kandahar in the south and Kunduz in the north. Cut off with no hope of reinforcement, the Taliban have two choices: surrender or die.
Any idea that those people should end up in some sort of a negotiation which would allow them to leave the country and go off and destabilize other countries and engage in terrorist attacks on the United States is something that I would certainly do everything I could to prevent.
The Taliban contacted the U.S. offering to negotiate, but Washington refused, leaving that to the opposition forces on the ground. But Defense Secretary Rumsfeld made clear the U.S. will not honor any deal that allows the Taliban leadership, especially Mullah Omar, to escape.
Would we knowingly allow him to get out of Kandahar? The answer is no, we would not.
As for Osama bin Laden, U.S. aircraft are broadcasting messages offering up to $25 million for information leading to the location or capture of him or his top aide, Ayman al-Zawahiri. Last week, a strike by U.S. Navy jets and a missile-firing CIA drone apparently killed not just bin Laden's military commander, Mohammed Atef, but 50 other senior members of al-Qaeda. But Rumsfeld cautions the surviving leaders remain elusive.
As enemy leaders become fewer and fewer, that does not necessarily mean that the task will become easier. People can hide in caves for long periods, and this will take time.
The U.S. is bombing as many of those caves as it can find, while American commandos and reconnaissance aircraft search the dwindling amount of territory where bin Laden might be hiding. It may take time, but increasingly it seems his choices are becoming the same as those Taliban fighters at Kunduz: surrender or die. David Martin, CBS News, the Pentagon.
That battle for Kunduz in the north shapes up this way. The city is just 40 miles from Afghanistan's northern border with Tajikistan. The city is encircled and under constant bombardment, as CBS's Byron Pitts reports from near the front lines.
Old Russian rockets and modern American bombs are winning the battle over Kunduz. But it became more clear today, ethnic hatred is the weapon that may end it. It's no longer just United Front tanks and U.S. rockets killing Taliban troops. It's Taliban soldiers killing each other.
The Taliban killed their friend.
This United Front spokesman's talking about these men, 300 Afghan Taliban soldiers who defected late Sunday, fearful of a Taliban army run by foreigners and now in chaos. The Taliban commanders killed 100 of our friends, said this defector, adding they hung their bodies from lampposts as a warning to the rest of us. It's become a war within a war. Fanatical Arab and Pakistani Taliban soldiers loyal to Osama bin Laden, brutalizing Afghan Taliban fighters. Even refugees fleeing Kunduz have tales of this targeted terror. A local doctor was shot to death by foreign Taliban troops after the Taliban soldier he was treating died in surgery. A broad and bloody battle is still possible here, with panic on one side, precaution on the other. For now, both sides seem at a standstill. The Taliban no longer quite so willing to fight to the death. The United Front no longer quite so confident they can topple Kunduz easily. So tonight after supper and sweets, this United Front commander headed off for a meeting with Taliban leaders to discuss an 11th hour surrender. Meantime, soldiers at their front reload and rest, for daybreak could bring the surrender of all, or the slaughter of some. Byron Pitts, CBS News, on the road to Kunduz.
Even where Taliban forces have been beaten or driven out, Afghanistan remains a very dangerous place. That was underscored today on the road from the Khyber Pass through Jalalabad to Kabul, a region dotted with bin Laden's terrorist training camps. CBS's Randall Pinkston is there.
This road from Jalalabad to Kabul turned into a death trap for 4 journalists when gunmen pulled them over and began firing. This man was the driver of one of 2 cars.
I saw the shoot that they were shooting the journalist.
He and the driver of the second car were allowed to escape, but the journalists, one each from Afghanistan, Australia, Italy, and Spain, are missing and presumed dead. It's unclear who carried out the attack, but there is little security anywhere in this fractured nation. Even in areas the Taliban have left, renegades, including Osama bin Laden's Arab fighters, still roam this rugged countryside. One confirmed location where his Al-Qaeda fighters are still holding out is the Tora Bora Mountains, southwest of Jalalabad. Some officials believe bin Laden may also be there. He may still be free, but these 200 men who came to support his war against America are locked up. They're mostly militant Muslims from Pakistan who were captured by anti-Taliban forces, and they remain defiant against the United States.
We will fight, inshallah, till the last blood of my drops, inshallah, I will fight.
These men came here prepared to die fighting America, but with the collapse of the Taliban, they now face an uncertain future and the possibility of their own deaths at the hands of their Afghan captors.
But they're hoping that in the spirit of the Muslim holiday of Ramadan, they will be shown mercy, something the 4 journalists did not get today on the road to Kabul. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Jalalabad.
With considerable coaxing and arm twisting, U.S. and United Nations officials have persuaded Afghan factional and tribal leaders to at least discuss the possible shape of a post-Taliban government. That will be at a conference, possibly in Germany, next weekend. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer in Kabul reports tonight what may be ahead for Afghanistan after the war.
The end of Taliban rule has unleashed a torrent of demand for things that had been impossible. For these people, it was a simple movie matinee. But for Afghanistan's traditional warlords, it's a chance to carve up the country among themselves again. In Jalalabad, after years of hiding from the Taliban, the former governor and warlord Haji Abdul Qadir is back. A deeply conservative Islamist, he once allowed Osama bin Laden to hide in his territory. This weekend, Qadir was named chief again, and he's in no hurry to join a national government.
I don't know when is make the central government after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, what time. Until this time, who is control this area?
In Herat, in western Afghanistan, Ismail Khan is back in charge, running what amounts to a private kingdom with his own army. In Mazar-e-Sharif, in northern Afghanistan, the Uzbek general Abdul Rashid Dostum pushed the Taliban out of his former territory, this time with the help of American special forces. And plotting a comeback, Gulbuddin Hekmatyar, once known as the cruelest of all the warlords, whose militia reduced half of Kabul to rubble in the early 1990s and killed 25,000 people. Even today, the ruins of Kabul are a testament to that vicious internal feuding. Now, the United Nations is trying to open a new era of cooperation between these old rivals, but many believe it's a doomed exercise. The United Nations has even floated the idea of international forces here to keep the peace. But history shows us that the one thing that has always united the Afghan warlords is a fierce hatred of foreign armies and a determination to push them off Afghan soil. Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, Kabul.
At a UN meeting in Geneva today about biological warfare, the United States said North Korea, Iran, and others have violated the international treaty against bioweapons. But the U.S. representative aimed his harshest words at Saddam Hussein's Iraq, saying it is, quote, beyond dispute that Iraq has, again, quote, developed, produced, and stockpiled biological warfare agents and weapons. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict simmered dangerously on today. At least one Palestinian was killed and another wounded by Israeli troops, and 3 Jewish settlers were wounded in a West Bank ambush. CBS News White House correspondent John Roberts reports U.S. Secretary of State Colin Powell laid out details today of a new Bush administration approach to trying to revive the Mideast peace process.
The scene of 2 more funerals in the Middle East today underscored a dramatic shift in White House policy. The disinterest of 10 months ago has been replaced by a new determination to bring the 2 sides together.
We will do all we can to help the process along. We will push, we will prod, we will present ideas.
The pronouncement today by the Secretary of State re-engages the administration in the search for a Middle East peace. But President Bush will continue to stay at arm's length, leaving the work to envoys, steadfastly resisting the notion of a 3-way summit with Ariel Sharon and Yasser Arafat.
Our objective is to convince both parties to make a conscious decision to come to the peace table. And when they do so, we're more than willing to help.
The president has come under increasing pressure from Arab members of his coalition against terrorism to get personally involved. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister declared Mr. Bush cannot be an honest broker until he meets with Arafat. Arab scholars say the September 11th attacks have made more urgent the need to achieve peace between Israel and the Palestinians.
These terrorists exploit public opinion, and there is tremendous resentment and anger over this issue in the region. And if you keep that an open wound, it is going to be exploited.
President Bush believes that the spirit of cooperation forged by his war on terrorism has provided a new opportunity to find Middle East peace. But the opportunity is not without risk. Experts warn that if the process fails again, what is now a territorial battle could become an ethnic and religious conflict that spreads across the region. Dan?
John Roberts at the White House. CBS has a follow-up tonight on the story the Evening News broke Friday. The FBI plans extensive testing on a letter to Senator Patrick Leahy that may contain anthrax. That letter was in 280 barrels of unopened mail quarantined after an anthrax-laced letter turned up in Senator Tom Daschle's office. Ever since, the entire Hart Senate office building, 11 million cubic feet, has been shut down. CBS's Wyatt Andrews reports tonight on the status of a cleanup plan.
For 5 weeks now, the Hart Senate office building, home to half the U.S. Senate, has looked like a hot zone movie set. Now, the cure will also look like science fiction. The EPA and the chlorine industry believe they can kill the anthrax with a form of chlorine gas.
The advantage of this gas is it can reach places that a liquid solution can't.
But chlorine has never been used quite like this before. Capitol officials are considering an EPA plan to gas Senator Tom Daschle's 2-story office suite. The gas would be pumped through the suite in concentrations sufficient to kill all remaining anthrax spores. But here's the complication. That gas would also have to be pumped out for scrubbing to protect the nearby neighborhood.
A dose that will kill anthrax is not going to be at all healthy for us. So you've got to clean that air when it comes out, make sure that it doesn't get out into the community.
So far, chlorine gas is a serious option in no other building. The Morgan Postal Station in Manhattan, for example, has simply been wiped with bleach. Some senators have expressed frustration at the lack of a uniform decontamination strategy.
There is nobody in charge. There's no clarity. There's no consistency. There's no uniformity as we look to decontaminate any facility.
The Hart building, meanwhile, sits idle while officials study what amounts to a giant experiment. This base to 50 senators, 2,000 staffers, and the Intelligence Committee could soon become one of the largest poison gas laboratories ever. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
Coming up next on the CBS Evening News, insight into the mind of an accused bin Laden operative from the suspect's former lawyer.
Just when it seems like life couldn't get any better, your whole world can turn upside down. But if you're a Farmers Insurance customer, you can call our new Health Point service the moment it happens. We can answer the questions you can't. Farmers Help Point is here to care and really take care when you need it most. Farmers, get you back where you belong.
At Bank of America, we really wanted to participate in the Olympic Winter Games. But in the end, we decided to support the real athletes and stick to the things we do best, like defending your money with a leader in photo security check cards and credit cards.
I was finally going to buy my grandson a big boy bat. I was on chemo then, and I was exhausted.
If you're a chemotherapy patient and feel tired, you may be anemic. Ask your doctor about Procrit to regain red blood cells. More red blood cells can mean more strength. Procrit is proven and safe. In studies, only diarrhea and edema occurred more often with Procrit than placebo. Procrit is for patients with non-myeloid cancers.
He takes a lot of energy, but I never get tired of him.
If you suffer from heartburn caused by acid reflux, get Gaviscon. Gaviscon tablets become smooth and creamy, forming a soothing protective barrier that helps keep acid down. Gaviscon, relief from acid reflux without a prescription.
You know, when a toilet bowl overflows over the floor, it's not a nice thing. You could have a lot of trouble with your septic if you don't maintain it. It could also back up on the lawn. It's cheaper to maintain your septic system.
The bacteria and enzymes in Rid-X help prevent septic backups. Use Rid-X once a month.
This country keeps rolling. It's not about to slow down, and neither are we. Interest-free financing from GM continues from now through January 2nd on most new cars, trucks, and SUVs. One country, one way. Keep America rolling.
Using Washington's Reagan National Airport as a backdrop, President Bush today signed a law tightening security, at least some, at the nation's airports. 28,000 federal employees will take over the screening of bags and passengers within a year, not in time for this holiday travel season. Airports will have the option to return to private screening services in a few years. A judge in Spain has ordered 8 alleged al-Qaeda members to stand trial on charges that they are directly linked to the September 11th attack on America. The 8 are in custody, but make no mistake, even behind bars, accused bin Laden operatives remain determined and dangerous. CBS's Mika Brzezinski has a case in point.
His name is Mamdouh Mahmoud Salim, in custody for the 1998 embassy bombings in Africa. He also may hold secrets of the al-Qaeda network.
He was seen as very close to Mr. bin Laden.
Salim has yet to be tried in the attacks. 4 men were convicted last May, but Salim's court date was put off when prison officials say he attacked a guard, driving a sharpened comb deep into the guard's eye. His attorney, Charles Adler, was there.
To me, this was a message that when you are kept in the inner sanctum of the enemy's dungeon, this is how you respond. You put a stake in their eye.
Adler was taken off the case, and 10 months later, on September 11th, visions of that jailhouse attack once again, this time multiplied by the thousands.
That image came back to me very powerfully when I saw that long, thin airplane fly into that building.
Prosecutors say it was Salim who Osama bin Laden turned to for religious justification of such attacks.
Salim spoke to the recruits and discussed with the newcomers Islam, their duties as Muslims to fight the jihad.
But prosecutors say Salim's role went way beyond theology. They believe he ran companies for bin Laden involved in chemical warfare training and explosives. There's even evidence of a botched deal to buy uranium. All of this information on record before September 11th. Was it a signal of what was to come?
There was more to be learned. There was more to be afraid of, I think. And I think we rested on our laurels a bit too much.
Feeling like we'd done something about terrorism by convicting the 4, at least.
Yeah.
Salim may hold information about any other planned attacks, but those clues may stay forever with him, as he has made his commitment to al-Qaeda violently clear. Mika Brzezinski, CBS News, New York.
Next, Eye on America. Helping the U.S. economy. Some unintentional aid from Russia.
The CBS Evening News and tonight's Eye on America segment are sponsored by Aflac. Ask about it at work.
Want to try that triple Lux?
What the heck? I got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
A what?
No, that something insurance.
Even the best insurance doesn't give you cash for things like lost pay and other expenses. This does.
What does?
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
This country keeps rolling. It's not about to slow down. And neither are we. Interest-free financing from GM continues from now through January 2nd on most new cars, trucks, and SUVs. One country, one way. Keep America rolling.
Goodbye, mop and pail. Hello, pledge. Grab it wet. This is wet. How easy is that? A lot easier than my mop and bucket. I have to get down on my hands and knees. And they come out very wet. Pledge, grab it wet. Grab it. This is my new bucket, and this is my new mop. It's definitely clean. Clean feet means my floor is clean. Pledge, grab it wet. You can see how much it's cleaning my floor. When the house is clean, I feel like a better mom.
Pledge Grab It Wet Floor Wipes. S.C. Johnson, a family company.
You can go in the garbage. The kids can play where it's clean now.
How precise can changing a hearing aid battery get? Oh, this precise. Introducing the Energizer Easy Change, the world's first hearing aid battery dispenser. Simply turn the dial, then slide the battery out to activate. The magnetic arm holds the battery securely for precise placement every time, no matter what hearing aid style or battery size you use. The Energizer Easy Change. It changes batteries precisely.
Maybe you should ask your doctor about Flonase nasal spray or call 1-877-FLONASE. When your doctor writes your prescription for Flonase nasal spray, you'll be glad you took the time. Why wait? All you want is Flonase.
Can you breathe? When my guys want cookies, there's something better. Pillsbury ready-to-bake cookies couldn't be easier. Just place them and bake them. So I have more time just to hang out with my guys. Pillsbury, my heart to yours.
Just 6 months ago, Americans were paying record-high gasoline prices. Now, prices are in free fall, down to a nationwide average today of $1.17 a gallon. Cynthia Bowers reports on the welcome slump at the pump in tonight's Eye on America.
As Americans pump cheap gas this holiday season, they could be giving thanks to an unlikely source.
Looks like the government's trying to help us out a lot.
Make that the government in Moscow. Russia is now the second largest oil exporter in the world. And when President Putin last week rebuffed OPEC's call to cut production, he opened the door for a price war. Today, the cost of crude hit a 2-year low of less than $17 a barrel.
We could see prices going back down below $10 a barrel. So who has the power now? It's the big Russian bear.
The bear that's creating a bear market, driving down the cost of all things oil. Home heating oil that last November sold for $1.10 a gallon now goes for less than 50 cents. A trip to the pumps is about 35 cents a gallon less painful than last Thanksgiving.
I can't remember the last time I paid less than $1 a gallon. Yeah, it's great.
Consider this. If the price of crude oil were to remain steady at $20 a barrel over the next year, that would equate to an extra $150 billion pumped back into the U.S. economy, $100 billion of which would go straight into consumers' pockets.
When you adjust the price of a barrel of oil by just a few dollars, it can create significant savings for the economy, more even than would be provided by Congress under some of the stimulus plans that have been offered.
On the trading floor, smart money almost always follows the Saudis. But this time, the outlook may not be so clear.
Who would you say that the traders are betting on at this point, Russia or OPEC?
Early bets are in for Russia to pull it off. Russia is holding all the cards. They're holding all the rubles right now.
And as a result, at least for the time being, Americans are holding on to more money. cheap gas could be just what's needed to help fuel the economic recovery. In Chicago, I'm Cynthia Bowers for Eye on America.
Optimism about the war in Afghanistan sent stocks higher today. The Dow is now 20% above its September low. Technically, a bull market.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Right. Things are really shaping up. What's for lunch?
Tomato soup.
Condensed soup? That was okay when we colored with crayons. We're adults now. There's a better tasting soup. Progresso Hearty Tomato. Big chunks of fine ripened tomatoes and special seasoning, so you get way more flavor. See the difference?
This is better.
How about your finger painting?
What? It's time to go to the better taste, the Progresso.
I'm every man.
And every woman who ever suffered from frequent, persistent heartburn.
If you've treated your heartburn and changed your diet, but it comes back 2 or more days a week, then you may know about the burning pain of acid reflux disease.
But there's something about acid reflux that I didn't know.
Over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't.
But today, there's a purple pill called Nexium. It's from the makers of Prilosec. Just 1 prescription Nexium a day gives many people complete resolution of heartburn symptoms.
That could mean complete heartburn relief.
And importantly, Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can determine if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. So talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and for a free trial certificate for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with today's purple pill called Nexium.
You'll love Ziploc Easy Zipper. Just easy zipper it, and you know it's closed. Ziploc Easy Zipper. Easy open, easy close. Easy zipper.
Now, the same caltrate that helps fight bone loss may help your colon, too. In a recent study, caltrate helped reduce the risk of recurrence of colon polyps, a risk factor for colon cancer. The same caltrate you take for your bones, now for colon health, too.
When my arthritis started choosing the notes, I thought my jazz days were over. But my doctor said keep moving with Advil. It's strong enough to let me control the pain. That's me playing again.
Take Advil and take control.
How do you spell your name? Be careful, this man was kicked off a Portland flight because the pilot didn't like his name. Hear what he says at 6.
We end the CBS Evening News tonight with family ties to the front lines in a 21st century war.
The best thing that's happened to me since I've been in the Navy.
By satellite through a teleconference facility near Seattle, this new father is able to see his baby son, even though Dad is stationed in the Arabian Sea on the U.S. aircraft carrier Carl Vinson. These pictures from home are a godsend, especially for the 29 fathers who left port before their babies were born and are seeing them for the very first time. A high-tech mail call, bringing families together in a time of war. Part of our world tonight. Dan Rather inviting you to join us again tomorrow, same time, same station, for the CBS Evening News. Good night.